All right, Crypto Vince here. We're live, and we have with us today Jonathan. Hi, Jonathan,
Hello. Hello.
and Buonomo. We're
How's it going?
just gonna discuss something here about BTC. Just focusing on it and see if we can find the bottom. Let me remove that. Many people ready to listen to what we say. 25 people. I think that's almost a record in like 5 minutes, like 1 minute we started the live stream. So let's see what we got here. What do you guys think? Where are we going? You guys have like a sentimental bottom yet, or
Not so far.
so I mean we kind of predicted. There were the chances that we were going there. That's for sure. Um, and 4.9, 4.7, it's was a level that we were looking for. Of course, the this little bounce that he had previously done here was a great rejection, so that could have been the bottom already, but then he pretty much failed, and he made a lot of false breakouts, false signals in the small time frames, and we're gonna go look at it to see what happened there. I mean, he had like a false breakout, then he break down, and then he went back up again. So it was really hard to place a short because we were already pretty low, and even the market cap is looking is looking pretty close to the main support here. This is the high of August, and we're bouncing right there. But as I kind of charted on this bullish wolf wave, if that's the case, this is of course it's was a long term scenario. I mean, the drop, of course, it's more mid term, short term, but of course the breakout a long term. When we do long term predictions on BTC, it's not gonna be exactly as it is, but for sure can help us to have a general idea. And the bullish wolf wave, it's a five-way pattern that has a false breakout. So this is in purpose. I mean, I didn't put this just cause I think it's gonna false breakout, but usually the wave breaks down this main support that I traced it just touching 2 points. I mean, I can extend it a little bit here, touching the candle close of this week, this low here. But I really like considering the wicks when I trace my patterns. And as you guys can see here, I mean, probably everyone remembers when we identify those two triangles here that we're making higher low, and then make a false signal here, a bull trap and drop, and here did the same. Three touches, went back up and down. So this is the overall idea. I think the false breakout, it's gonna happen because it's not gonna be that easy. It's not gonna be like, oh yeah, we bounce on 4.9, like all the world is bouncing on 4.9 things. We're gonna bounce on 4.9. Probably we're not gonna bounce at 4.9. We're gonna go probably lower, maybe for a flash crash, final panic sell, and then go back up. So placing long right here, it's gonna be hard. It's not gonna be easy. So we're like trying to picture a level, a zone where we can start to place orders, and probably with some stop losses, just using 1% risk, and maybe making multiple buy orders, and hopefully that it doesn't go lower. The risk and reward at this level are massive. I mean, if Bitcoin really bounces here, it's money. So I'm ready to lose even 5% of my portfolio if I'm gonna open five times my trades. Talking about BitMax and margin trading, then when it comes to just buying BTC or normal trading, we can just keep buying it lower and lower. Of course, there is a chance that we go even lower, much lower, which is 3K. 3K, it's a level that now it's becoming possible. And as you guys can see, 3K is exactly here where major support here is of this is what September 17 low, and June 17 high, and here is a level that everything we have like two highs and one low. It's a pretty strong support, so we could go there. There's the possibility. What's your lowest point, guys? What do you think, Jonathan?
Yeah, I think I was targeting 4.2 or 4.9, but as I said, I think there will be some movement of panic selling at some point, so we could wick down to 3K. Yeah.
So that won't be bad to play some orders that low, that would be cool to put just orders at 3K and just hope he reaches there. Hope, I mean. But that could be worth for sure because he can arrive there. As he did here, I mean, was what a week. Took a week here to make this fast drop. The last 2 days was like a panic sell and touch right away this level support 3K and then bounced off pretty fast in just a day. So how much this was? Let's see here. If we go on the 3-day, let's see what we got in 3 days. So in 2 weeks, dumped 40%, and then in only one day, we cannot see in this chart went up 40%. So those are the massive move that we were looking at. Let's see. Bonomo, what's your bottom?
Oh man, I was just looking at that, and if it does get down to $3,000, I mean, there's an $1,800 to $3,000 range. It's a bullish order block that looks pretty solid on the weekly.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's a large price range, and that's very low. That's about 90% down, which is a huge correction.
Yeah, 90% is big.
Might be too far.
Yeah, talking about how much we're drop. Actually, let me figure out first those guys if they hear you. Guys, as the audio, I mean, I think you guys hear me pretty good. How about Jonathan and Bonomo? Can hear both, perfect. I'm getting good on live stream. That means setting up OBS been like 1 year now. Okay, so about the drop that you say, you say 90%. If I remember right, from all-time high to 3K, it's about 85%. Let's see if I'm right or wrong. So yeah, so it's about 85%. Why this number tells me something? Because it's the same amount the BTC crashed during 2014. Let's go check that chart. Bitstamp as the some So weekly. So if I go 2014, we have a similar chart. So BTC almost reached the previous high on the 2014. Of course, with the big wick, you guys can see the panic sell here. That's what happened. That the huge wick, boom, goes down, and then many buy orders, of course, at that level, and then Bitcoin goes back up pretty quick. So let's see how much it dumped there from all-time high to there is about 86. So the same amount is dropping, and that might look really similar. And actually, I never really looked at this in this way. There are 5 waves here too. I mean, there are many weeks. 2014 was a different scenario, but if I just wanna count the main waves from here, this could have been a similar scenario. The Wolf bullish wave that I was talking about, that I traced on my chart here, right? You guys can see how it is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then if I connect the 1 and the 3 with the ray like that, you guys can see the 5th wave makes a false breakout. And the false breakout, I mean, in this pattern is really down. So that's what might happen. Then the bullish wolf wave as a kind of connects 1 and 4 to give a projection where the trend can arrive. And if I connect to 1 and 4, this is the projection, of course. I mean, it's pretty high right there, but this is if I connect the wicks. This is if I go a little bit lower. So you reached there, of course. It took a little bit, but that could be the same idea. So if you guys think at this level what the psychology was around the market, I mean, we were doing a correction, there was some bullish bull trap, everyone thought we were gonna go up here, we didn't make it. There was a falling wedge, which is the similar falling wedge we're making now, which is a correction pattern. Then when it breaks, of course, it turns bullish, and false breakout, drop to main high here, and then 85% drop. So there are lots of similarities, I gotta say, with 2018 where we're at now. And imagine here traders, the market, investors, what happened here? I mean, the market crash 80% already. Everyone is like, oh, BTC, it's over, crypto is over, blah blah blah, and then drops, everyone buys it, and then boom, and then we went up. How much? Let's see how much we went up from all-time low of the correction to all-time high. That's 12,000%. So this is not the first time it happened. I mean, this massive crash is not the first time it happened. Happened many times in the history of BTC. Of course, the market cap was way smaller, so it might be a different. I mean, I'm just looking here when I trace those patterns, and when I look at 2014, I'm not really looking at the I'm not looking at the pattern itself. I'm just looking at how people react to that pattern. I don't know how to explain in good words in English, but you guys can see the correction is not really similar. This has more a curve that goes up. Let me see. is more a curve like that. This is more down, goes down. So they're not really close correction, but the values and the percentages are very similar. And of course, the bullish wave is something that I'm looking at to see some similarities. But that's just how the market works, and that's how people interact with the chart, that it's made in that way. So that's why I'm really curious to see this dump to those level. Of course, if we really wanna copy this chart, well, the lowest point would be, of course, here, which is 1,000, which is the previous high, as it did here. So panic sell to 1,000. Is it possible? I don't know. I don't really want to go that down. But Bitcoin Cash is be trading. How do you say, Bono? Trading? Trading us.
Trading?
That the guys say, the critics say that we might go to 1K, because they're like just trying to kill BTC to buy more Bitcoin Cash. And they're saying they want to sell everything and just dump BTC, so they pump later on Bitcoin Cash and take over the world, whatever. So I mean, that's of course the worst scenario possible if we really dump the hard. Anyways, let's go have a look closer, see if we can see some more positive levels. Okay, so this is Bitstamp. All the exchange, of course, have different numbers right now. There is like a $100 difference between the USD market, USD and USDT. I'm not sure if let's go check USDT. Did it recover? I think it did. Yeah, it recovered pretty good. It's at 0.98. Reached again $1. So if you guys move to through USD at this level, probably you did great, because many stable coins are coming to the market, and that's good. We have different options now, and maybe USDT will slowly die. I don't want to create any FUD here, but the trust on this coin is losing a lot. And through USD, I don't think it moved. USD, Bittrex. On Bittrex, well, it went up, which is good. So we can make some money there. But yeah, it's pretty stable. They have a pretty good smart contract that burns coin and buys more coin, adds more coin into the blockchain. So that's why it's pretty stable. Here, of course, it went up, but it was the massive USDT FUD, and pretty much many user just bought a tons of through USD, and probably the smart contract was not there ready to support the kind of buy pressure, so that's why it went that high. But overall it's been pretty stable, and I'm using this right now. You guys, what you guys using a stable coin right now?
Yeah, me too. TUSD2.
Bonomo, you still in a Tether?
Fiat, baby, USD.
Good, better choice right now. Yeah, I'm in Canada right now, so I'm ready to go back to Italy. So I'm not ready to go to USD anywhere. I'm ready to go in USD in Italy, because that's where I don't pay taxes, because Italy on crypto is free taxes. So I'm waiting for it. And so let's go check BTC. Let's go closer. I have a many charts on BTC and many settings opened. Let's see what we can, which one we can check. Let's check BitMEX for now. I don't personally like Bitfinex because it's highly manipulated. I mean, not that BitMEX is not, but I don't know. BitMEX, I don't get it. Why is 500, 200 when it shows USD? But you know, we know Bitfinex owns Tether, so I don't understand why it shows USD price when the chart is very similar to the Tether chart, which is, you know, Binance and Bittrex, as you guys can see here, has 5,200, 5,200, 5,200. I don't like this too much, so I either go with Coinbase right now or BitMEX, and they are very similar in price right now, so it doesn't really matter at this point what we chart. So let's start from BitMEX weekly. Let's have a look. Well, the massive Bollinger Band. Let me add all my indicators. The massive Bollinger Band has been going down, which is bad. And you know, everybody was bullish at that level except few. And I wasn't super bullish, to be honest. I was leading to bearish, but you know, I didn't have any clue what could have happened because the fork was coming. But I posted a tons of bearish charts. For me, if we didn't break that 61% Fibonacci that I traced all over the place, I was not gonna call for a long. And the Fibonacci I'm talking about, I can go over here again for a second so everyone understand what I'm looking at. Is that famous 61% Fibonacci retracement of the bearish trend. We go. So this bearish trend, and Bitcoin retraced bullish 61%, and then he did it again and again and again. 61% here, and didn't break it, and they keep doing it. Let me remove the magnet here. Here 61%, it didn't break it. See if we did it again here. This is about 50%, almost 61%, but I count that. And then even in the smallest, when we were just about to break, let's say, we didn't break it. So if I trace this correction right there to the low point here, so this one from here to there, we hit again 61% and drop. So for me, a bullish indicator would have been if we break this 61% that we never did, and we went down. Then my trend line was, let's see, this is log scale, yeah. So this was one, and this was another one. This is what, BitMEX, yeah. So many trend lines we could have traced. You know, the first one by touching just 2 points was not really precise. The second one touches few too, not really precise. But what if we trace this one? I mean, this one was already very high. So I don't like to trace an average. I really like to trace many of them and just make an assumption with many lines. could have had this one too. Anyways, it was very hard to trace a perfect resistance. Very hard because full of false breakout and things cannot be really exactly as our dream. So we have to count those false breakout here and there. But for me, it didn't break. The main indicator was for sure the 61%. And then of course we had the low support here, that the pretty good support, 3 touch, 1 2 3, and he broke here. That was a big one. Now if I trace some Fibonacci extension just to see where the trend arrived previously, I can trace some waves. Let's see. My cousins are yelling. So if I trace a Fibonacci extension in the normal way, not my own way, but connecting 0 1 2 of a wave, I have 78% retracement, sorry, extension. If I connect this wave too, we're almost there. We are there on 78. So this is a 1-day chart. I mean, if this candle closed above this 78, that could be a good bounce. If not, yeah, we can drop more, of course, and that will be 4-3 based on this Fibonacci extension. What if we trace more extension just to see some Fibonacci confluences? That's 4-8 right there. I'm just gonna trace a few other one in the my way. Sometimes I just trace the correction without caring about the downtrend. At 78 too. Sorry, this is gonna be a little messy, but that's what I do every time. Okay. So I trace many of them, and then I look for confluences. So for number that are closed, and in this case I got the 78 here that can tell me that a bottom is closed, or this one, which is, and this one actually is another zone where BTC might arrive and find support, which is at 4.8, which is where we have a previous high. So if I trace this line here, it's a little bit above it. Of course, when we trace a support, it's never gonna be a precise number. I would like to trace a zone. We have this big, massive red candle there that can be give us some liquidity there. On the daily though, on the daily we got right there. I mean, this order block will pretty much catch all my Fibonacci in there, so it's a big level. it's not a joke. So it's pretty deep, so it might reach down to 4.4. What do you guys think about this one? Bonomi, you trace an order block on the weekly?
On the weekly, yeah, that's what we're in right now.
Okay. Oh, okay. one, which is it's a pretty low. That's pretty low. Because this massive candle here, I mean, there's no really any support on that, just a little wick. And that doesn't really, help us too much. So let me remove some Fibonacci so we get more clear here. So I like the 76. Okay, well, those are the levels just based on previous horizontal support. If I want to trace some diagonal ones, I just have two main points really that I can trace. Just considering the wicks, and we're gonna see, this is the hardest part, right? If we want to trace some trend lines. Oh, sorry, from here. Right there. It's about 4.7, 4.5. But there's some volume there. What else we can see here? Let's go check some indicators. So let's start from, Bollinger Band is way oversold. You guys like to say below the trend, below the Bollinger Band, way below, and every time was below. We have a bigger reaction upward, but the problem with Bollinger Band is when it's gonna react. As you guys can see here, the massive drop that happened in February, it was below the bands for many days, and then it went back up. So it's not really easy to say let's buy here just because it's below the trend right now. Sorry, below the bands. Indicators RSI, it's super low, and it's never been this low ever. So again, it's not easy to say, okay, RSI is pretty low, let's buy here, because RSI can drop more, and it's dropping more. WT cross, it's about to give us not quite buy signals. Actually, it didn't touch yet, and it's dropping more. MACD totally bearish here. It's even like keep expanding. But MACD is lagging indicator, we cannot really count on it. So on the daily we cannot really make any prediction based on indicators. Ikimoku Cloud, it's way up. Moving averages spreading here, not telling us anything. No cross, all the cross already happened before. TD on a 9 and failed and dropping more. Yep, the daily is really not helping us here. Let's check Ekinashi candles. I'm gonna see some long ass reds here. Sure. Yeah. So we had the doji, but usually, I like to study Ekinashi. When I see a doji and then I see a green candle follow after the doji, that can give me a buy signals. But in this case, the doji closed down and no green candle closed. So instead of that, we have a massive drop. So for example here, let me remove. So this is an example. Red candles, doji, green candle, uptrend. That's how I kind of see and study the Ekinashi to see an uptrend. Here again, red candles. You have higher low, green candle, and uptrend. Here we have some false signals. For example, we have a doji didn't close green. We have a drop, then it closed green, and we had the uptrend. So of course we don't have to consider just the Ekinashi candles. We have to consider many other things, but that can give us some signals. But at this point right now we have nothing. Okay, let's go have a look closer. See what we got. 12 hours doesn't cost too much. 8 hours touch 30 level and drop. MACD almost cross and drop. We're almost reaching a Bollinger Bands. The 8 hours. Which might cause some uptrend. Just gonna look for some divergence here, I guess, at this point. Some bullish divergences. That might be happen here. If the trend bounces here, it will give us a bullish divergence on the 4 hour. I have to trace from here though. MACD is showing a pretty good one, even though it's crossing bearish here. So we have to see, I guess we have to see this 4 hour candle, how it closes, and go from there. 3 red candles is not a good sign. Well, 2 hour candle just closed, but it dumped more. See something like that. There was already one here and they kind of failed. So this might be doing the same. Oh, yeah, indicator are very low. Very low. It's tough. It's tough, really tough situation right now. You guys have any other bullish indicators? Bullish signals? Bullish something? That can kind of give us something. Rather than, a bullish divergence, there's nothing here. To be honest, that not a pattern.
No, I can see nothing. Nothing bullish for me.
See, I mean, those lines are just based on bitmax. If I pick another chart, probably all those weeks are all different story. I cannot even trace trend lines at this pattern here. So this was the false breakout I was attacking before. This bull trap, boom, go here, everyone goes up, and bam, we drop. Really curious to see this 4-hour candles where it's gonna close, because we have this 78% extension that could work as a support. No sign by Akinashi, my friend. A really great wave that I can see. Yeah, every indicator is low, but it looks like it can go lower. So that's the worst time, the worst scenario. When we are low, for example here, but the indicators, is the trend is below the Bollinger Bands, but we can actually go lower. That's not a great chart.
If you switch to weekly and have a look at the RSI, that it might be a coincidence, but the bottom was in once the RSI was oversold for the first time.
So on the weekly here,
on the weekly on Bitstamp.
On Bitstamp, let's see, Bitstamp is here. Bitstamp RSI
with regular candles, not a Kinashi.
Okay. So on the weekly it doesn't show me 30. Yeah, is it on the weekly or on the 3-day?
On the weekly, the bottom was I spoke about I talked about 2004, 14.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The first time the RSI was oversold, it was the bottom.
Okay, yeah. It did just a little touch there, and then it went down again. Too bad it didn't make a divergence there. That would be nice to see.
We still have some room.
Yeah, on the weekly for sure. Let's take some EMAs just to check. Actually, I got my EMAs here already. Okay, EMAs here. The 200 doesn't really start from before. We have this bearish cross of this 150 bearish cross. Uh-oh. Well, still time to see that. Yeah, the bearish crash that will happen after the dump. As you guys can see, I mean, it's very lagging indicator at this point. We go all the way down, and then we see the bearish cross. So if you reach here, those 150 might touch and then go back up, but oh yo 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 yo, what we got? What we got? Yes, RSI on the weekly is scary. It is scary. And even WT cross, I mean, can tell us, we could drop even more. D just not looking great. The problem with Bitcoin at this level is that it's a big, it's, I mean, we know it's manipulated. That's not a big news, but it's very psychological to see the chart right now, and it's more a sentimental analysis than TA, in my opinion. I mean, and we know all good news come up and BTC dumps, and then all bad news come up and BTC pumps, and it's weird. Um, so people really try to fuck with traders' mentality. So even though we see supports are not gonna be the support that we really aim to buy. We have to see what the whales are ready to do in order to cause some panic sells and another psychological, mind manipulation. So even though I trace some great lines, sometimes they're not gonna be the right support, especially at those levels here. 2014, maybe same time this time, although I don't want that to happen. Let's see. Yeah, that was good support, but probably here, if there was a continuation, the MA was not a great support before. Yeah, that would be 3K. If we go at support of DMA. This is the weekly though, so right there. Again, it's worth to put some buy orders at 3K. It's worth because wicks can arrive there. Wicks can arrive there. What you guys thinking? Let's see in the chat what they say, because I haven't been looking. With the garbage market, 3 black crows, yeah. Seeing a continuation bearish trend. See, now the sentiment is turning bearish, which is good for the market. It's good because wells then they buy. When people sell, big players buy. So if everybody start to think bearish, probably things are gonna go up. But right now we were just too bullish. Many people were bullish, too bullish. My opinion, that's what happened. That's what happens. Guys, remember when things go down, there are people there. What is it? So when a trend goes down, there are people that buy. So every time someone sells, someone's buy. So we need some liquidity volume in order to dump the hard. Here are not just people selling, there are people buying it. So that's the logic behind the market. So in order to drop hard, there are gonna be many people that buy it too, right? So those may be whole stop losses and bunch of liquidity about those levels. It's been accumulating for 2 weeks, a month, and then boom. Just when at the right time things boom can drop. Let's go check the shorts and long. Well, I had this chart. Those are the shorts. What I did, I traced the Fibonacci extension of this trend here, and it bounced exactly on under 61%. It was pretty crazy. So even the Fibonacci on the shorts looks like they're working, and then shorts increase high very exponentially, and there was the dump, the first dump, and they reached the high here, the low, the previous low, 100% Fibonacci here, and then BTC stopped again and then went back up. So this chart is telling something, and looks like traders are using it more and more in order to make their predictions. And the same thing is the market cap. The market cap is telling us a lot too. Market cap is bouncing on this key level, and we have to see if it's not gonna drop more. This is, of course, is on a Kinashi candle, so it is giving us an average of the situation. It's not telling us what's going on right now, because if I switch to candlestick, it's probably